Hello and welcome to another Teacher's Corner. I'm Teacher Kirby, and this time we're going to be talking about specializations. This is going to be an introduction to specializations. But before we get started, just a reminder, if you like what you see, click that like and subscribe button. The more you click the like button, the more I get, the more my video gets viewed on YouTube. So there you go. For that YouTube algorithm, smash the like button. And there you go. So here we go. We're going to talk about specializations. Specializations are available by clicking the Status tab and then clicking on Skills. And if you look right here, we have Space, Ground, Specialization. So when you reach level 50, you start getting specialization points. You can see down at the bottom of this window here, near the right hand side, that I have 15 specialization points. There are a number of different specializations. We have first ones that are 30-point trees, which are primary specializations. They can actually be used as either primary or secondary, and those are Command, Intelligence, Miracle Worker, Pilot, and Temporal Operative. Okay, those are the 30-point trees that can be used as either primary or secondary. And then we have the 15-point trees. These can be used as secondary trees, and they are Commando, Constable, and Strategist. Now the reason that these secondary trees are only 15 points is because when you put a tree as either primary or secondary, or when you put a tree as secondary, it only uses the first 15 points, or tier 1 and tier 2. So if you put a 30-point tree, like I've put here Temporal Operative as my secondary tree, it's only going to use up to tier 2. Anything tier 3 and below will not be used by that secondary specialization. I won't have access to it, even if I filled in the points. Okay, so let's take a look real quick. All of the specializations or specialization trees, most of them have both ground and space abilities. You take your specialization points and you fill them in to give you access to the abilities. There are other videos, or I have other videos on each of the specialization trees, so you can check them out if you are so willing. That gives you more things. So, and let's see. Temporal, you'll notice I have not spent all of my points in temporal yet. I can tell this because this blue line here does not go all the way across, and as you can see, things are not lit up. Okay, and all I do is double click and click OK. Pretty simple process. There are no respec tokens or anything like that for specializations, because you will simply keep getting specialization points until you have enough to buy all of the points in all of the trees in existence. So the idea is that you will fill out everything regardless of whether you're using it or not, and because you fill out everything, there's no need. You notice it says, do I wish to set it as my secondary? No. So this is an example of a secondary specialization. Okay, but because I'm eventually going to buy everything, there is no way to respec what I have already put my points into. So now the other question is, well, what are the preferred specializations? So the preferred specializations are intelligence, for DPS that is, are intelligence, and here's the intel tree, and for primary, and then usually strategist for secondary. If you are running a science toon, a space magic toon that is doing science things, you're throwing out a gravwell, you're throwing out subspace vortex, etc., etc., that is a bit of a different animal, and in that case you want to have your temporal operative tree as your primary with strategist as secondary. And there's a good reason for that. That is because of, in part, because of anomaly leash and the inevitability. Okay, well, that's ground and space. Okay, so those two reasons are why you would generally have temporal operative primary if you are doing science. Okay, generally it's intel primary, strategist secondary for most characters. If you're doing a science build, temporal operative primary, strategist secondary is the recommended way to go. So that's actually it. It's a short one. This one because it's just an introduction. And again, remember, even if you set a 30-point tree as your secondary, as I have here for example, it's only going to use the first 15 points. Okay? Alright, that is it for this. So, I hope you learned something, and I'll see you next time.